Hi guys. Hi guys.
Oh God.
Sounds really nasal, doesn't it?
That will put everyone off.
Oh, I'm not even on. Hang on. I need to get myself on. So this is really weird being on the other side. Like I've got it on mine. I'm never on the other side. How does this work? Oh, Nail just started alive. How weird. Oh God, hang on, turn it off. Hi guys, so today we have got the lovely Amy. Hi Amy.
Hello.
Who is a Lacquer Lassie, who is one of our BAs, and we are going to be doing a live application of Xbase as a builder, which I know you guys will be desperate to see. So for all of you that don't know about our Xbase, it is our multi-purpose gel. So we have 5 colours. It can be used as a builder, it can be used as a colour coat, it can be used for applying extensions for that sort of French base. You can use it as like a strong base coat. So yeah, there's a lot of different things you can use it for. Also, it's HEMA free as well, which people love. So here are the colours swatched. I don't know how well they're going to show up on the screen on here. Not bad, not too terrible, because it's never really true to colour. So yeah, so if anybody has any questions about the product, please ask away and we will let Amy get started. It's so weird being on this side. Anyway,
It's so weird just being on live.
just you forget about it, it's fine. So Amy is going to do one of her hands, and she has got extensions on the other hand, so yes.
So usually I just start by pushing back my cuticles, although there's not much to push back because I did just remove a set earlier today, but just pretend.
Alright, look how long her natural nails are as well. It's not fair, is it?
It's a lot of work.
Someone says, we bring out more light, clear, kind of nude colours. It is something that we are looking at because you guys really love the product and were asking for that. It wasn't something that we wanted to do initially. The reason being that the product was designed initially to be able to have that French like opaque base. And obviously if you make the colour quite clear, you're not going to get that. But you guys seem to really like it as a builder, so it is something we are looking at.
I know that that's something that my clients have said they quite like it, but what you can also do is use the xgel and then put a really thin layer of the Xbase on top, and it gives a similar kind of vibe. If
you go to Amy's page, Lacquer Lassie, I think you posted a picture of that quite recently. I think it was like one layer of bestie or something.
Halloween nails.
But yeah, no, that is a really good idea. But a lot of people are asking for that, so we are about to sample some other colours. So watch this space. So Amy's just doing her prep just now. Obviously you can manually prep as well if you prefer, but Amy, like me, prefers to e-file.
What kind of e-file is that?
Oh, we are using the Lucy Pastorelli new black e-file. You carry on, Amy. I'll just throw this in the frame. Look at this. Is that not just the most stunning e-file you've ever seen?
It's beautiful.
I love it, and it really goes with everything that we do as well because it's black. So it's very exciting. Let's have a look at who is here. Kaz P says, no questions yet, but I'm so happy I got up extensions the last 5 weeks. Amazing, well done. As we always say, like the full cover tips are really simple, but every step needs to be done just right. Alana from Trick or Treat, or other BA, she said she's really jealous that you're so close.
You turn this one the opposite way again.
Okay, so if we pause and then put into reverse.
Cute.
There you go.
Very cute.
Nice and easy. So yeah guys, so anybody who's just joined, we are going to be doing a live Xbase application as a builder, the one that you guys have been waiting for. We know we're obviously like a fully transparent company, and for any of you that are on the group, you'll see that a couple of people had some issues on the group with wearing at the free edge and stuff like that. So this is why we are doing this, and we wanted not us to do it because we can go, oh yeah, we've been using it for a year with no problems, so here's how we do it. But we felt if it was somebody else doing it, then it's just more authentic, because Amy's been using the Xbase since it came out and you're finding quite a lot of success with it, aren't you?
Yeah, I had a client last week who'd had it on for 6 weeks with very little very few issues considering it was 6 weeks, which was a bit ridiculous. But
and I think we shared that on our stories yesterday, I think it was as well. So it can be done. Something that's really, really important to point out is that when you are using products that are HEMA-free, they are naturally less adhesive and naturally less hard wearing. So if you've been used to using a builder that is got a lot of henna, high henna content in it, your clients will probably be a lot more heavy-handed with their nails than they actually should be, because the product is kind of like cement, so it's very, very hard wearing, very, very adhesive. But everybody seems to be going towards a HEMA-free, more hypoallergenic sort of product, and I think the whole industry will probably go that way eventually. So it is something that clients are going to have to get used to using. They are going to have to realize that their nails are jewels and not tools, and they're going to have to stop, I don't know, digging in the garden with them and things like that. So people are going to have to go back to that old way of, you know, that when people had like normal nail polish on, not suggesting it's as soft as normal nail polish, but go back to that sort of way. People have got so used to these products that are really, really hardy. But I think even they in the future will probably change their formulas as well. So it is a bit of a learning curve for clients and techs alike. Eleanor said, I find that the Xbase chips as a builder. Have you got any, well, I think it means Xbase, she said the chase, so I think it's Xbase. Chips as a builder. Have you got any tips, Amy?
I mean, I can't say I've had any problems with it. Chipping, I would just make sure your clients are following the aftercare, because I think because it is a softer product, if they're not like oiling their nails and they're getting dehydrated, it's going to pull away at the free edge, and that's when it's going to look as if it's chipping.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Something that I found with my own nails. So I literally just redid this hand yesterday, and I'd had my builder on for a month, and my own nails underneath was, you know, curling around. We've all seen that the picture on social media that goes around as to why you should oil your cuticles. It's because they become really dehydrated, and when something becomes dehydrated, it shrivels up, so it's going to curl away. The nail will curl away from the enhancement. So it is really important, as Amy said, to keep the nails hydrated.
Someone's asking you what you use to apply your nail gems, Amy.
It depends if they're big charms or small. If they're flat backs and they're kind of smaller, I'll top coat, buff the top coat, and then use a resin and activator spray.
Oh wow.
And then seal them in with gel, because it just stops them sliding around, keeps them sealed in quite well. If they're bigger, I'll use a blob of polygel and then go back in with, like, I've sometimes used some of the xgel just around it to make sure it's all sealed in.
Yeah.
And then usually you're good to just kind of top coat and go.
Xgel, Laura, that's your favourite thing to use. Laura likes to have great, big, really offensive charms on her nails. And
she, charms.
Yeah, and she always uses the Xgel. I think you've done some videos.
Yeah, I've even done it with the Xgel sensitive, so if anyone was ever questioning the adhesive properties of it, I've had them on for weeks with charms using Xgel sensitive.
So it does work really well. So Amy was just using the sanding band there to rough up her natural nail. So we're going to do our prep exactly as we would do our prep for extensions. So we're not going to buff the nail, we're going to essentially etch over it with either a nail file, sort of a 180 grit, or we will go over it with our sanding band as well. Oh, instead, even. What was somebody saying?
Usually I would nip the cuticles before going in with this bit, but there's not really anything to do right now, so just bear that in mind.
It's always nice to use a sort of hybrid method of prep, I think. Do you find that a hybrid method is the best?
Yeah, I think when you use a mix you get a much cleaner cuticle, and you don't get the same kind of, like if you just like cut your cuticles, you can sometimes end up with it looking almost raggedy.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go back in with an e-file, it will smooth everything out, which is quite nice.
Yeah. The bit that Amy's using right now is actually like one of my current favourites. It's called the Wisp from Lucy Pastorelli, and it's really, really good for sort of pushing back the cuticles, but it's also good for, like, I find at the very, very end I like to go back and just go back any, like what you said, any of those raggedy bits. Oh, hi Hona. It's nice you guys are on.
A little bit in there looks phone it on Amy.
So again, lots of you are just joining, so if anybody's just joined, we are going to do our Xbase as a builder application. Amy's on her clients and they seem to get on really, really well with it.
Okay, and we have acetone there. Perfect. I love the wee pink lint-free wipes.
They're really cute,
so
aren't they?
cute.
A lot of people really like them because they say they are actually lint-free, so...
Oh yeah, they're one of the few wipes that I've tried that actually don't leave fuzzies everywhere.
See, the acetone thing to me is always something like so funny. It's just something that I've never done.
It really depends. I use it a lot more recently just to make sure there's no dust anywhere. Just right in at the cuticles and stuff.
It's good, I guess, as well for making sure there's no oils, especially on that free edge. Beautiful, look how clean that is.
Everyone always asks where we get that little dusting brush from.
And it's
Every
so
single
soft.
thing isn't it?
It's so good, isn't it?
Stick that.
We would actually love to sell, we would love to sell them, but they're actually quite difficult to get hold of, believe it or not. But that one I think is from, I think it's called a plush brush or a lush brush. Halo does them, and NSI I think, something like that. Anyway, they're very, very good because I just really love the consistency. So Amy's just going in with her X Prime to prime the nails just now. This is an important step. Make sure it is nice and sticky.
And if I've got clients that I know are prone to lifting or chipping, I'll do 2 coats of primer.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was someone on a YouTube video ages ago. I think it might have been the people from Young Nails.
Oh.
Had said if you've got heavy lifting clients, try double priming.
Oh, and you find it works?
And I find it does make a difference.
That's interesting.
Never know what the next test is going to be.
Well, myself, I usually just do the 1 coat because I'm lazy.
So today Amy is going to be using Bow.
So pretty.
Such a pretty colour. This is
So
one of my
nice.
favourites. It is. I think they are actually all really good colours. Obviously they are very pigmented. Again, that's because we wanted to create that opaque French.
Oh gosh, now's the pressure.
I know.
Usually my hand is like 2 inches from my face
Yeah.
whenever I do my nails.
Don't worry, normally Rebecca's is as well. That's why we can't.
You can go closer, Amy. We can't see your head. Don't worry. You can go. You can keep going. You're good.
No, I'm scared.
You're
I'm
good.
scared. This'll do.
She's doing much better than me. Usually my nose or my hairband's right in it. So right now Amy's just putting down her base layer. Obviously everybody applies builder differently. So this is kind of what I would do as well. I would put down sort of a nice, sort of quite thin base coat. Somebody said Bow is my absolute fave. Yeah, I really love that one actually.
So nice.
It is nice. I think it suits so many skin tones.
Oh,
Update.
and Bestie.
Bestie, yeah.
Update from the warehouse. The bowl is out selling Bestie.
Is it actually? No way.
And Bestie was called Bestie because Rebecca was convinced.
That it was going to be everybody's favourite. Like
Yeah.
everybody's bestie.
Kind of like Snowberry outsold pumpkin pecan pie.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
The only thing with Bestie I find is it never looks as good in pictures that I take. I don't know if it's just me.
The colour
We have
picks
that
up.
exact
It
same.
comes
Yeah,
up
exactly.
really orange,
It does.
and it's just not
Yeah,
like that
it's
at
not.
all.
Like in real life, it's just such a nice colour, but I know exactly what you mean. Bougie's actually been so popular.
Yeah.
I think Bougie's one of those ones when somebody sees it in real life, they're like, whoa.
Yeah, and the shows had a really good reaction.
Oh yeah, Gift and Nails just said I love Bougie. Yeah. When people actually see it, they're like, oh no, that's such a nice colour.
I don't think I've actually used that yet.
Have you not? It makes the
No.
most literally bougie French you've ever seen. Honestly, it does. Eleanor says, I think Bliss is my fave. Yeah, Bliss is a really good go-to. It's a really, really nice pink. I do love Bliss as well. So you're just doing a thin layer here, aren't you?
Yeah, just a thin layer, and then I'll cure it in the lamp, usually for about 60 seconds.
Yep. It's so hard doing it on yourself and
God,
being
it's so hard.
filmed, isn't it? I said to Amy before this, I was like, oh, do you do lives? And she's like, no. Why do you think I'm not doing it on myself?
Because you have more sense than me.
Yeah. You'll be much better at builder than I will be, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're just here under false pretenses.
always find it so difficult to do my pinky because it just floats, just wobbles about.
So, Amy, do you find that you do more type of builder or more like extensions?
I would say the majority of my clients are in for builder. A lot of them start with extensions and then switch to builder once their nails are where they want them to be.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it's a wee bit quicker, it's less, not less upkeep, but the appointments are quicker. So they prefer that, and a lot of them quite like the whole, oh, like these are my natural nails.
It is a good feeling when you're doing your natural nails. You're like, oh, I know, I just shortened all mine yesterday, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the longest my natural nails have ever been. But at the same time, it took me so much longer to do it than if I'd been doing extensions.
Oh really?
So much longer.
I find it so much quicker. Like, I think especially because these self-level so nice.
They do self-level really nice.
Just whack it on and off we go.
Someone says, do you have press-on nails? So our nails can be used to make press-ons. Yeah, actually a lot of people have been recently using our nails for press-ons.
We just did a guide yesterday as well.
Yeah, for press-ons, and I'm just in the middle of doing a measurement thing for it as well, so that's really, really fun. Do you ever make press-on nails, Amy?
I did during lockdown, and I do on and off. A lot of the time I make it for content, but on occasion I will have like custom orders come through for people that can't wear nails on the regular. And it's quite fun. It is different, but I did start them before I got your guys' tips, and now I'm like, how did I just throw away all the old
I know,
rubbish
it's really,
ones?
I know,
Like,
it's really, I've got the same problem, let me tell you.
it's so difficult.
So Amy has cured that hand now for 60 seconds in the lamp. So she's going to go in with her second coat. So now this is where everybody does it kind of differently. So just walk people through what you usually do, Amy.
So I usually go nail at a time, and I'll add another thin layer. But before I cure it, I'll then build it up with my thicker layer. So this kind of acts as a slip layer and makes it easier to move around. And I always have a wee detail brush, which is in my hand currently, because I find it makes it easier to move the apex and stuff about. So
it's interesting watching somebody else do it.
This is so hard doing this like this.
Even more interesting watching somebody do it with your product that you made.
Yeah, it's very true.
So usually I kind of float it on in circles.
Yep.
Until probably about the centre, and then I kind of just drag it down.
I think I'm going to try this method.
This is what it's called builder, because you build it up.
Yeah.
Well done, Chris.
And you can build an apex.
Interesting.
Most times I'll then just flip it upside down.
Yeah, that's a really, really good trick to flip it upside down. Gravity will pull it to where you want it to be.
And then if it's looking lumpy underneath, which you guys probably won't be able to see, you'll see the underside of my finger. I use the brush while the hand's upside down to kind of move the apex to where I want it.
Oh, wow.
This is like a masterclass.
It is. So the upside down trick is a really, really good one because it helps it self-level, and as Amy said, it use gravity to pull it down and create that apex.
And then flip it right, make sure there's nothing on the side. If there's any wee lumpy bits, take the brush and kind of feather it out, but it looks alright. So then I'll put on the low heat mode and just stick my hand in. And then while I'm doing this, I would be doing a client's other hand.
Yep.
So
Is it
gonna go? There we go. So you kind of just switch nail about. Here obviously I'm just doing it on the one hand, so it's you just have to wait. But if it was a client, I would do one nail, then pop that in the lamp, do the other nail, and then just switch them straight away, and then go back in and fully cure everything after it's all kind of flash frozen.
That's it. I like to use the X light to flash cure, but it's just whatever you are comfortable with.
I still need to get the X light.
You don't have
I'm
it.
desperate to get it. I keep adding to my list of things.
That's like me. I've got a Black Friday list for just general life, and it's getting longer and longer.
Well, that'll do. I've got a bit on my skin. It's fine. I'll file it later.
This is real life, guys. Real life. It's a lot of pressure doing it live.
Oh, it's so much pressure.
So I feel now that we have to explain to people that because this is live and it's probably not the ideal time for lives, this will be saved.
Absolutely, it will be saved, so you guys can watch
It will be
this
on
later.
YouTube in a couple of days.
Yep, Chris is going to put it on YouTube.
learn some tricks, because we'll probably go back and watch it ourselves.
I know, well, now I'm really learning something, because when I turn it upside down, I only turn it upside down for like maybe 5 seconds, so I feel like you're doing it for a lot longer, so I'm like, oh, maybe that's a good trick.
Yeah, because I feel like, see, especially if it's a thinner product, I like it being much more pulled to the middle, because as soon as you flip it, it starts spreading out again. And most of the time that stops you getting it on your skin.
That's why
apparently not right now.
That's why the X-Light's so good for flash curing, because when you're putting it in there, you've got that, especially the thumb, you've got it on that angle. With this, you can just go.
Yeah, I'm like trying to hold it up straight.
Well, you do have an X-Light
I'm a little bit.
She's like, I don't know. Do you want to try the next one and see what you think? If you don't like it, you just go back to what you like.
It's no pressure, but you must do it.
Yeah, it's no pressure at all, but you're doing it.
Couple of pink lights.
Yeah. As well, it's always so awkward doing stuff that's not when it's not in your space.
Yeah, it's not your nail.
Oh, I hated that when I did lashes, trying to do it at other people's houses. End up taking so much longer as well.
Yeah, I could have never done mobile treatments. No way.
Absolutely not. I always found when I moved, like if I moved salon to a new place, the first day or two, everything just went wrong.
Yeah.
Even though it was all the same stuff and it felt like everything was in the same place.
It's just not quite right.
The vibe was off.
The vibe was off. So there she is, turning it upside down again. She's going to do her upside down. So you always work from upside down then?
Most times, yeah, because I feel like I can see easy enough. And then I'll flip it and just usually drag the product down the side just to make sure it's not too bulky at the sides. And check the free edge, I'll flip it again.
I think having a brush is, especially a striping brush, is really, really important when doing builder. It really helps you get into all the little bits, and as you said, you can move the apex around as well.
Oh, definitely. When I started doing builder, like everybody just used it straight out the bottle, and that was that. And I don't even think anybody filed it either. So I don't know how we got away with that. It was just, see, when I think about it, it was just so much more effort trying to manipulate everything with a massive brush that comes in the bottle.
That's it.
It's quite fun actually.
See, because you don't need to worry about what the hand's doing, because you know that way the client knocks a hand when they go.
Oh my god, nightmare.
See? A nightmare now. She's like, I'm not sure if I'm convinced.
We'll see.
Somebody was asking what colour we were using, so we are using a bow. So is it Bestie or bow? Bow. Oh, I did my first ever set of Xbase nails. The Bestie and OMG in love. Yeah, we were just talking about Bestie. Bestie is a really, really great colour, but if you don't have bow, I just think it really suits so many skin types. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't look good on. I was asking Amy earlier if she refines, and she was like, no, not unless I have to, unless it's a bit bumpy. And now I'm looking at her application, I'm like, yeah, she definitely doesn't have to.
I'm looking at my thumb right now being like, oh jeez Louise. She's a wee bit squinty, wee bit squiffy.
Do you know why that is? Because I went into this light. See now, your life is going to be changed.
We always say collaboration is key, and you guys have got together and what was happening.
That's it.
Every day's a school day.
Someone said all the shades are just amazing. Thank you. So yeah, they are going to be a lot more pigmented than builders that you're maybe used to using, and that is because we want them to be able to be used for getting that opaque base when you're doing French, because you probably don't realise how little gel you actually use when you are doing extensions. But you use a very, very small amount because you put on so much pressure. So then it all spreads around and you'll just get patchiness if the product's not really well pigmented. So Amy's just turning it upside down right now, which is a really, really good tip. It helps the product to level and helps you to get a nice apex as well. It uses gravity in a much better way. If you imagine your hands like this, the gravity is just going to pull it down the sides, whereas this way the gravity is going to pull it all into the middle.
Yeah, don't fight gravity, use it to your advantage.
That's it.
That's probably fine.
What are we thinking now about the light?
It is a lot more convenient.
I'll go get one from the back.
I don't want to admit it.
Because you can see what's happening.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Was it actually back in stock, Bekka?
Yeah, the X-Lite is.
It's really not on your game.
I'm sorry, the X-Lite is back in stock. All grey day, if anybody missed them, the X-Lite's back in stock. And do you know what else is back in stock? Size 7 short stiletto, which have been out of stock for about 6 weeks.
Everyone leaves us by size 7 short stiletto.
Honestly, everybody in the group's been like, somebody said they were the holy grail, like trying to get hold of them. So they are all back in stock, and medium, square, the sizes that are out of stock. All the sizes of all the refill bags are back in stock. So that is the good news. So nice.
I won't lie. These are definitely not as smooth as when I usually do it. I'm feeling the pressure.
Your index finger looks perfect, just about perfect to me.
They're smooth enough.
Smooth enough. But you can refine it as well, but obviously with a product which is hemi-free, again, you've got to remember the product is going to be softer, so we're not going to go in heavy-handed with a 100 file or a 150. A 240 would be absolutely fine. What I would do first is go in with your buffer, and if that doesn't quite do the job, go in with a 240 very, very gently, because you really don't need to put much pressure on. The product is a lot softer. But although it's really soft, it is really, really strong, and because it's quite flexible, so it moves with a nail.
I mean, I wore it the whole 2 weeks that I was in Singapore and Bali, and I was out doing whatever I was doing, and it was absolutely perfect. Like hiking through blooming jungle nature parks and stuff.
That's it.
It was perfect.
Did you enjoy Singapore?
It was so good, so expensive, but so good.
Had you been to Bali before?
I'd never been to Bali either, and I
So
only ended
good.
up having 3 full days the way our flights worked out, which was absolutely not enough. So I'm like, we need to go back.
Bali's so good, isn't it?
Singapore's been on our hit list for a while, but obviously we've not been able to travel as much, especially to that place. But yeah, soon.
Somebody said, are you doing a Black Friday deal? I want so much. Yes, we are doing a Black Friday deal.
Don't talk about it.
But we are doing a Black Friday deal, yes.
Top secret Black Friday.
Top secret Black Friday
It's
deal.
rubbish. Just go buy it just now. Buy it full price.
Very mesmerising watching.
It really, really is.
Normally Rebecca just keeps talking, doing more watching.
It's strange not being the person doing. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like, oh, what am I doing? But yeah, something that I was just watching Amy do there is with the striping brush, just before she's ready to go, she likes to pull it down towards the free edge, just over the free edge. I think that's quite an important thing to do as well.
I think sometimes if you don't, you get a funny kind of lump at the free edge almost.
Yes, yeah.
So sometimes I'll brush it down and then back up to try and smooth it out a little bit more, although she's still a little bit lumpy, but it's okay.
It's pretty perfect.
It's okay, you can literally fix anything with a file.
This is true. I don't think it doesn't have to
I
be
think your
careful.
standards are just really low.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching that line of light just wiggle a little bit at the end. Oh gosh.
I know, it's nothing worse, is it? Nothing worse.
Well, considering you're doing it with 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras on you.
The pressure.
Yeah. Very good.
So yeah, we will save the live, guys, and if you haven't seen our Xbase yet, we sell it, but all the colours individually, and you can buy it in the kit, and whether you buy a bottle individually or the kit, you will get the Xbase Masterclass for free. So the Masterclass is designed to show you how to effectively use the product with extensions, because it is different to our usual method of application for extensions. So it is quite good. It's got a video and everything like that as well. And then if you want to see about our builder application, we're going to save this live and you will be able to watch that later. But I mean, I don't think Amy is doing anything that's like revolutionary.
I don't know, I think it's pretty amazing.
Well, no, in terms of like the product works like well for her. Do you know what I mean? So there's not anything that she's doing which other people probably aren't doing, other than the cool trick where she adjusts it when it's upside down. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't have to do like a huge amount of, oh my gosh, the pinky's so hard, a huge amount of work to get this to lay pretty smooth, because it's got that kind of, it's slightly thinner than other builders that people might have used, but I kind of like it because it's a lot easier to make it go smooth. You don't get funny brush lines or anything in it.
Exactly.
How long would a set normally take you, Amy, if you were doing just building?
I usually book it out for an hour and 15 minutes, but it's usually done within an hour, easily.
I'm just looking at the timings we're doing here, and because you're just doing one hand, it's been half an hour, but if you were doing 2 hands then it would definitely be within an hour, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you usually do quite a lot of nail art?
I would say most of my clients go for nail
Yeah.
art. So it's really hard to tell because I'm like, I know that it used to take me this long when it was plain sets, but now everybody gets something.
Something. Do you force it upon them? You say, this is what you're getting.
If someone's like, oh, I want a French, I'm like, are you sure? Because you get one a year. So. Are you sure you want a French and not like a glitter ombre with stars and this, that and the other and leopard print and
You're restricted
whatever.
Frenches, I like that. I think Carmen, one of our BAs, she actually says in her like bio, no French, like she point blank refuses to do it.
Do you know what? It does look really pretty, but I just get so bored doing it. And everybody knows what it's meant to look like, so if you make a mistake,
Yeah.
it's really hard to hide it.
I think it's actually quite hard to do as well. Like it takes time, and it's something that's just so.
But clients will be like, oh, just the French.
So look at that. Stunning.
Don't look at the middle one, but that's fine.
It times out. There you go.
And then once it's all flash cured, I'll put it in for another 60 seconds at the end. Usually with clients, because you're switching back and forward, I would say the nails are pretty much fully cured, but it's always just in case. I
Yeah.
always put it back in full power for 60 seconds.
That's it. You can never trust what your clients are up to either. They get
Absolutely
distracted
not.
easily, don't they?
It's like the hand in and out the lamp to have a look.
Like, what are you doing?
Although I won't lie, I am that client. See, when someone else does my nails, like when my friend did the nails that I've got on my other hand.
I don't know how
was
you
like, in
can
and
let
out.
somebody else do your nails.
Oh, she's amazing. Like, I mean, ignore that one, but they're
I know,
so
they
cool.
are amazing. They are so cool.
But I do sit there like, oh, I wouldn't do that.
I would be the worst. Oh, hi Lucy. Lucy is watching.
Who's Lucy?
Lucy Pastorelli.
Oh,
Yeah, who's she? Lucy, we were using your black E-file at the beginning of the video. We love it, it's beautiful. So, Amy is just finishing her... Did you put it on for a second time?
It started again because I moved my hand.
Oh,
I
I
was
was like, what's going on here?
Took my hand out and put it back in. So it's probably just about cured, but...
Just in case. So, at this point, as we said, if you need to refine, you absolutely can. But remember that it is a slightly softer product than probably things that you've been used to using. Are you looking for something to remove the shine with? Okay, here's something. Yeah. She's like, where am I?
I love this stuff.
Yeah,
I've
so
got the Malibu one.
it's really, really good, isn't it? The Maldives, yeah.
I like Maldives, that's
Maldives.
the one.
It's delicious.
Oh, do you know what it is? It's Trisha Paytas.
Oh
I
my
keep seeing her
God,
and her
yeah,
baby
that'll be
everywhere.
Barbie.
So what Amy's just doing here is she is going to use the our hand sanitizer to remove the inhibition layer, because you can do that. It's a multi-purpose spray. You can use it for hand sanitizer, you can use it for cleaning your tools and tables, and you can use it to remove an inhibition layer because it's got isopropyl alcohol in it. So yes, works fantastically. It's a one-stop product.
Should really write that in the product description.
We really should. We really should.
It's on you.
Maybe even on the label.
It is on the Xbase.
So she's just going to tidy up her thumb right now. She's going to be hypercritical. If you want another nail file, there is a toothbrush as well if you need one. So yeah, guys, if you're going to refine it very, very gently, you can try your buffer first. You can use at 240. Amy's just getting rid of some bits that she's not happy with around the edges.
9 times out of 10, I would say I don't refine anything, and if I do, I usually just file the free edge ever so slightly with either the 180 that I used to prep because it's kind of worn by that point,
yeah.
or the 240.
Somebody said I bought the Lucy Pastorelli and nail order e-file extension bits, and oh my god, they're beautiful to work with. Yep, for anybody who doesn't know, we have an e-file bit kit with Lucy. These are our amazing bits. So this is our bit kit for everything that you need to do full cover tips. So it's got my favourite prep bit in it, it's got Jennifer's favourite prep bit, and it's got loads of other things that are going to help you do extension. Most importantly, this little chubby guy right here, who is really, really great for etching the inside of your tips. It's literally the perfect shape. Guys in the background are laughing at me. Yeah, nothing's new. So Amy's just quickly going over, giving a quick refine with her 240. As she said, she doesn't usually, but it's, as you can imagine, she's doing it on herself in a place that she doesn't know on the camera. So it's, you know,
on 4 cameras.
On 4 cameras, so it's a lot of pressure. So she's just giving them a really like going over with the 240. Again, we want to be nice and soft.
And really, there's not a lot to do. I'm just super pernickety.
So why not?
Pernickety a Scottish word?
I think it is.
Is it? I thought it was just everybody used it. Oh my god.
I think it is a Scottish word.
Well, I found out something that we say that's Scottish. Did you say "Owa cha 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 fish and chips and cola" in primary school? What?
Do you know? I think that might have just been you.
What kind of primary school did you go to?
Like if you were going to tell on somebody for being naughty, you'd be like, "Owa cha 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 fish and chips and cola."
Oh no, for us it was, I'm telling on you, your eyes are blue, you kissed
Yeah.
the Queen in primary 2 or something like that.
Kiss the boy in primary 2?
No,
For some reason,
it's-
it was the Queen if your eyes were green, it was the boy if your eyes were blue, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know where the chips and cola came from, but that was my school.
It's because Laura said the word Coca-Cola earlier, and it really irks me when people say Coca-Cola. Just say Coke.
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, but Coke could mean something.
Oh, very true.
Not too well behaved people. So yeah, so you don't have to refine. You can refine if you need to. You just do what you have to do. But I think the most important things, I honestly think the most important thing is client education on and aftercare. So what do the clients avoid doing afterwards, and what should they do? So they should be oiling their cuticles. They shouldn't be using their nails for opening cans or picking things or whatever it is, because it is going to cause wear. And again, I think it's really important for people to understand that builder products which are HEMA-free are that little bit softer. Usually less adhesive. We definitely don't have any adhesion problems. People don't get like lifting and peeling or anything like that with these products. But I think people do need to sort of educate their clients, especially as we come into this era where people are wanting HEMA-free or hypoallergenic products, and people have to understand that these products are going to behave differently. Once you take out chemicals like HEMA and things like that and you replace them with other things, of course the product is going to react differently. It's not going to be the same. So with that, people do need to make changes. So somebody was asking what grit file we're using. That was a 240. Again, we don't want something really, really gritty. It's a little bit softer because it's nice and flexible, so it works with the nail. So 240 is plenty. Initially try with a buffer, but if you find that you do want to refine a bit more, the 240 is great. That's why I used my own nails yesterday, actually.
Smooth, you can top coat them. Or add your colour, whatever.
Yeah, add your colour or top coat them. So Amy is just going in with our X Gloss, which is, for anybody who hasn't seen, is our HEMA-free high shine top coat.
It is so shiny.
It is really shiny, isn't
I hate
it?
that I can see my reflection
Yes!
in pictures.
Oh my god, this is what I said the last time. I was like, have you guys ever seen your reflection? I said that in the BA chat. I was like, has anybody seen, like, noticed you can see your reflection in it? It's really, really shiny. It is a really, really good product.
And actually going back to what you were saying about client education, that's when it's like the best time to retail your products. Like,
absolutely.
at the end of the appointment, I don't know how everybody else does it, but at the end of the appointment when I'm doing top coat, I always make a point of saying, like, these should last you however many weeks, but to keep them as nice as possible for as long as possible. Use your cuticle oil twice a day, and then you always go, if you don't have any, I do retail it, but I don't care where you buy it, just use it.
That's it.
And then the whole gloves if you're washing your hands, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Funnily enough, when we were doing our little road show and we were doing the shows at Olympia in Manchester, because we were like packing up boxes and unpacking boxes, and I was so rough on my nails, like they were so just like, they just got so worn and stuff because I was really using them as tools and not jewels. So yeah, it does matter how clients use their nails, no matter what products you're using, to be honest. But yeah, we always want to be encouraging them to use cuticle oil. Again, like Amy said, the best way to do that is educate them while you're doing the treatment and use the product on them. So use your dropper bottle on them, make them fall in love with the scent, and then tell them, oh, well, I sell that, you can buy that. And people will love it. It's a nice little add-on, nice for like Christmas gifts as well. We have our Sugar Fairy mini dropper bottles available to buy as packs of 6 now as well, which are probably really, really good for little Christmas gifts, I think.
And I feel like for Christmas doing the hand sanitizers and the oils and the matching smells.
That's it. People
will love that.
Duos are back.
We've got that. It's almost as if like Amy knows. She actually doesn't, guys. Seriously. And so we've got little duos back on the website, which is our Sugar Fairy hand sanitizer and the mini dropper bottles, and they're available to buy in the little organza bags, and they are very cute and
so
perfect Christmas gifts.
Pre-packed for you. Great Christmas gift. Secret Santa. Hang them on the tree in the salon.
Yeah, hang them on the tree.
We've got them over there on the huge tree.
The tree is literally 2 feet, is it even? Maybe, max. So Amy is just top coating right now.
Someone's asking how many coats were applied.
Of the Xbase?
Yes.
2 coats. It is nice and thin. Is this what thickness you would usually do?
Yeah, usually. I would say the pinky's probably bang on. I'll cure the top coat and then I'll show you. Because I tend to try and keep it much thinner at the free edge, but
so
have
it looks
that
more
nice
natural.
apex so that it's not super chunky the whole way down.
I think that's another reason if people are getting wearing at the free edge. It could be because the product's too thick at the free edge.
Definitely. Because if it's too chunky, it's just going to get in the way more.
Absolutely. That's actually a really good point. I haven't even thought about that. I think that could be one of the things. Definitely. Yeah, so she did 2 coats. So she did her first thin coat and then cured it, and then she did her second thicker coat. So she put up her second coat, she put down a slip layer to help guide the gel, and then she blobbed and built it. So it was just 2 coats. You don't need too much. The product's like strong and it's quite flexible as well, so you don't need to have big, thick, chunky nails. Also, do you know something else I just learnt this year, which I never knew before, about letting the nails cure before you put cuticle oil on? Cool before you put cuticle oil on?
It stops it getting smudgy. Yeah. Although I will say I usually put it on with a brush, just round the outside, just to make sure, because I'm too paranoid about it. Beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
I'm actually going to wipe over them as well.
So, is what Amy is doing right now is it's a big topic of sort of conversation in the industry at the moment about non-wipe top coats, whether you do actually need to wipe them or not. So there are actually some really, really helpful articles about this. A website I like to look at is the Nail Knowledge, and that's got some really, really good information about that. If you're wondering why she's wiping over a what is traditionally called a non-wipe top coat, what we mean by that is a top coat that isn't left sticky afterwards. But look at that, beautiful.
Beautiful, they're still super shiny.
Yep. It's
and
not
they're so strong, like.
That's it. Somebody was saying obviously they look quite thin, but they're not moving. They are really, really strong.
I don't know if you can see like that. Well, I don't even know where I am on the camera, but
let me see. Oh, if you come like here to where I am. There we go.
That's kind of generally the thickness and shape that I tend to do, and my clients never usually have any issues. So it's still quite a natural shape at the free edge. You can see actually if I turn them that way, they're super thin at the free edge.
There we go.
But because you've built the structure in the right place, there's no issues, and you don't need to build it up to be super chunky.
I do think using the striping brush just before you flash cure and smoothing out the free edge is probably one of the most important things to one, get that natural look, and two, avoid any wearing or anything like that, because if it's too thick at the free edge you're going to get that sort of wearing effect. Anyway guys, we will save this and be sure to check out the Xbase on the website. Anything else I missed, Chris?
No, I think we know who's going to be doing our lives.
Amy. So yeah, again, our Xbase is available in 5 beautiful colours, and you can buy it in the kit, but you can buy the bottles individually as well. It's hemi-free and you can use it for lots of different things, especially because it's highly pigmented as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much Amy for helping us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
It's great, and we will speak to you soon guys. Bye.
Perfect.